Good evening, folks, to the dugout, to this latest edition. It's Sunday, 21st, right?
Yes.
Exactly a week from now, we are going to be at the same time highly debating, highly dissecting a very, very important match. India versus Pakistan.
Exactly a week from now.
Exactly a week from now in the Asia Cup. Wow, India versus Pakistan, the rivalry. After 1 year, we are going to see these two giants play out on the big stage. In the past, India have held the edge against Pakistan when it comes to T20 cricket in particularly, but in 2021, perhaps a new chapter began. 10-wicket win by Pakistan, their first ever in the history of the ICC World T20 against India.
I mean, we've seen India lose to Pakistan previously, but I think that had to be the most one-sided loss you'd ever witnessed in quite a while.
And there was one major protagonist in that. Yes, Babar Azam and Mohammad Rizwan did deliver.
But who was the protagonist in the first inning?
The chief destroyer, a certain Shaheen Shah Afridi. Shaheen Afridi's burst in that first over when he removed Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul ensured that India did not recover. However, now in Asia Cup 2022, yesterday we finally got the confirmation as to what we thought we knew about for close to 2-3 weeks.
That Shaheen will not be playing.
Shaheen Afridi is not going to be part of the Asia Cup for the Pakistan team.
Correct.
That has kind of taken away the sting of the India-Pakistan rivalry. For one more reason. If Shaheen Shah Afridi is not there for Pakistan, then Jasprit Bumrah, India's ultimate pace spearhead and presently one of the best in the world, is also not there for India.
Yeah, I mean, if we think of India in recent years, a lot of those victories in test match cricket, even white ball bilaterals, Jasprit Bumrah has been a factor in a lot of those matches.
Yes.
It's that simple. There is just, no simple, no better way of putting it. Jasprit Bumrah is absolutely key to India's chances of victory, regardless of how good a pace battery India has right now, which, let's be fair, they do have.
Well, even with these two, Bumrah and Shaheen not there in the side, there's still been plenty of India-Pakistan heat on social media. Why? Waqar Yunus, the former Pakistan great, he was saying that it's a relief for India that Shaheen will not be playing. But to that, Irfan Pathan, the former India all-rounder, has now said it's a relief for opponents that Bumrah and Harshal Patel are both not there.
See, Harshal is a bit debatable, but Bumrah absolutely.
Yes. So, I am just looking at your bowling lineup and strengths, okay, for India and Pakistan. Let's just have a cursory glance of who are your bowlers. Let's start with India. Without even Jasprit Bumrah, you have Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, you have Arshdeep, you have Hardik, you have Ashwin, you have Chahal. Jaddu also. So you have 6 bowlers. Let's only count the pacers. Bhuvi, Arshdeep, Deepak Chair is on standby, but he might come in case if there is an injury. And then there is Hardik Pandya. These are your 4 out-and-out pacers. What about Pakistan? Shaheen is gone. So you now have Haris Rauf.
Yeah, a lot is going to depend on him now.
You have Kushdeel Shah. You have, if you say Haris Rauf, then a lot more will depend upon Naseem Shah, the 19-year-old pacer, who, by the way, bowled very well in Sri Lanka, but even he is also not 100%.
Correct.
So your pace bowling attack for Pakistan is Kushdeel, then you have Naseem, and then you have Haris Rauf.
Correct.
On paper, TRT, I really don't agree with that.
That's a bad take. I think Bumrah, because of one season,
is an economical bowler.
No, economical, yes, but he's not just economical. He takes a lot of wickets. I think people are normally judging him off, this one season of IPL 2022, where he wasn't as effective, but his economy was superb. There is a very good reason for that.
Yes.
He quite frankly had no support. So, and every other team knew that. So what they were doing is they were playing on Bumrah and they were attacking every other bowler.
TRT, let me just tell you one thing. Bumrah, if you count him as an economical bowler, then you're missing the whole point. Remember, yes, Malay Pandey, there's also Shahnawaz Dahani, but we do not know Shahnawaz Dahani what he brings to the table, because he's an unknown commodity. We have not seen too much of Shahnawaz Dahani to ensure that, okay, he might be that X factor. We don't know much about Shahnawaz Dahani. We know Naseem Shah can have an impact. We know that Khushdeel and Haris Rauf will have an impact. And Akash Bharadwaj, is there a chance that Deepak Chahar would replace Avesh? Yes, there is a chance. See, we are not counting Avesh in, because look, maybe Bhuvaneshwar and Arshdeep might get a chance. Arshdeep is a good contender to begin with this Asia Cup. Because honestly, look, on paper, with Bumrah's absence, even with Bumrah's absence, the depth in the Indian bowling is simply staggering. Pakistan's is not so much. Anish is saying, sir, honestly saying as an Indian, I say Shaheen is much more damage to Pakistan than Bumrah to India, as we have a strong bench strength. Thanks Anish for summing up my point. That a replacement, some part of Bumrah, but Shaheen is 50% Pakistan.
Absolutely. And with Shaheen, what people don't understand is that he's a lot more than just, a bowler. At times, he's very underrated as a leader.
Yes.
Remember when in the PSL, which was the team that finally broke their duck this time around? Was the Lahore Qalandars. And who was the one leading them and spearheading them? Shaheen Shah Afridi. So Shaheen is for his age, is a very good leader.
Yeah.
Of course, his bowling is, there's nothing to be said about just how good a bowler
I had mentioned Khushdeel. I think Khushdeel is not much of a bowler. Mohammad Wasim Jr.
Yes,
yet again, Sohan Sahai, I'm saying Mohammad Wasim Jr. I have not been impressed by the number of chances that he has come out onto the field and given. I'll honestly tell you, Mohammad Wasim Jr. has not impressed me, but who knows? Maybe on the bigger stage, he might do well. But again, he's an untested commodity, not had that much of chances. Prashant Trivedi is like asking me a specific question. Will the form of Kohli in Asia Cup decide his presence in the World T20 squad? Prashant Trivedi, yes. It will not. If he does not perform in the Asia Cup, let me be very honest and tell you my honest opinion, stick my neck out. Kohli is still going for the ICC World T20 for the very simple reason of big game experience and also because he has a good record in Australia. Passed in any format, be it ODI, T20I test, especially in T20Is. He has a fabulous record in Australia. Big game experience. I am not expecting Kohli to have, say, out of 7 games, he's going to score 3 50s and 300s. No. I'm saying he's going to have a very middling Asia Cup. But that is enough for Virat Kohli to make it to the World T20 primarily because he's done enough to ensure he's a mainstay. Absolutely. He is the mainstay. And I'll honestly tell you, this Asia Cup is not going to be determining your World T20 squad. Why? Different conditions, different situations.
I mean, look, honestly, I think it might differ in 2 or 3 spots. Because again, we did a discussion also, Rohit had said it. But I don't think Virat Kohli is going to be under the scanner. I don't think that's going to happen for simple reason. I think he has enough credit in the bank to survive even the kind of bad patch that he's had. And if you really decide, like if you're of the opinion and if you are fair enough, if you're of the opinion that, you need to move on from Kohli, the batsman in T20 eyes, now is not the time to make that call.
Yes.
The best time to make that call, in my opinion, would be after the T20 World Cup is done with.
Yes.
Then you can take a new direction and say, look, VK, you've done really well, but we want to move on from this. Whether or not you want to retire, that's your call, or team management says, we want to move on from you as a batsman in this format.
Look, in an ideal world, I would have just said, phase out Virat Kohli accordingly. Phase him out. Just don't say, oh, you had a bad form, chuck him out. No. If he does not perform even in the ICC World T20, then perhaps you can take a call. If India does not, God forbid, they don't perform well in the ICC World T20, then heads will roll. There is no question about it. There will be question marks over the long-term viability of Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma and all other players. But from now till the World T20, Kohli's place is not there. His place is not to be questioned. Honestly.
It's there.
Isn't Hassan Ali in contention of Pakistan considering Shaheen's a mastermind tarantula? But apparently I am hearing from reports that Hassan Ali is injured. And Hassan Ali has struggled ever since that ICC World T20 shellacking that he got against Australia. He dropped a catch, went for runs, and when he dropped that catch, Pakistan, as you know what happened. TRT, Shaheen Afridi playing in Asia Cup would have been helpful for India. In what way? Helpful for India. Perhaps Shaheen Afridi playing in October 23rd at Melbourne will probably help India. Why? He's missing both the Asia Cup and the England series. He will be very, very rusty.
Correct.
So also, that is why that might happen. Why did Pakistan carry...
Pradeep Srivasan has a very naughty comment.
After Pakistan getting out, Bumrah decided to rest Shaheen Afridi.
Very, very clever. No, I think they knew he was injured. I'm pretty sure. And as Anish says, why did they actually take him to Netherlands knowing that he was injured? And this is mismanagement. You know, if we're talking about mismanagement, I would say that the way they've handled him or the lack of handling they've shown for Shaheen Shah is the biggest case of mismanagement.
Yes.
In fact, one of the reasons, by the way, and I don't know if you guys saw this, but you know, we have to keep a track on what's happening on social media as well, was that Mohammad Amir basically said to
oh yes, why was he trending?
Yeah, he said, I'm trending, but why? The reason he was trending is because he had done an interview about a year back where he said that, you know, he, by the way, very interesting example, and I have to say this, he cited the way Australia manages their fast bowling trio. He said that, you know, you look at how they have Hazelwood, Cummins and Stark. He's saying that if all three of them even play after a particular time, they'll be rested for 1 or 2 games. They'll be kept out for 1 or 2 games. Very rare, the only time all three of them play together will be for the biggest of matches.
Yes.
So, he said that in 1 year's time, people will come back to me saying I'm right. And prophetic words indeed. Because one of the main reasons that Shaheen is feeling the impact now is because he's not been managed.
Yes.
And I think what the Pakistan management has that and has slightly old-fashioned outlook on things. Remember, Wasim Akram used to always say that, you know, I don't need management. The more I'm bowling, the fitter I'll be. But I think there's enough let's say research out there to show that that's not necessarily always the case for a lot of people. Different people have different bodies.
Yes.
And you need to be managing them accordingly. Even Bumrah, by the way, he might have picked up an injury at the most inopportune time, but you cannot question the fact that the BCCI didn't handle him.
Yeah.
He's been handed plenty of rest, rotation.
Yep.
He's been preserved for the biggest series and occasionally played only in the so-called lesser important ones to keep his fitness going. But he's been very well managed. With Shaheen, the exact opposite. happened. They've run him into the ground.
Yes.
And I do feel bad for him in that regard.
Rahul Vasudev,
Hello from Australia.
Yes, the consensus that we have is that Shaheen's absence will be a massive, massive blow for Pakistan.
Yeah, absolutely.
For India, Bumrah's absence might necessarily not make an impact. And he makes that point. Shaheen is undoubtedly bigger impact. Good left-arm pace bowler up front caused many issues to India. Bhuvi, Arshdeep, Hardik, Jadeja, Ash, Chahal is still fire.
I agree.
Absolutely.
That's the thing. I mean, if you look at India's bowling lineup for the Asia Cup at least, and let's be fair, in the Asia Cup there might be 2 or 3 games which might be somewhat competitive.
Yes.
If you're looking at India's, the kind of batting, the kind of talent they have in that playing squad, not even the 11, just the squad. You're right in the sense that you point out that, you know, the Indian bowling that we have right now is more than good enough for handling the Asia Cup.
Yep.
And I agree, because there is a lot of, and we were pointing out, although I think, Shaheen, can we exit this? Someone was asking a question. I don't remember who it was.
Was it Prashant Tiwari?
No, Navdeep, no, I don't agree, because I think he's fallen down that pecking order, unfortunately.
Yeah.
His white ball performances, to be fair, have really flattered. So
Pradyuman Singh, Shahnawaz Dahani will replace. No, he won't replace. He'll get much more game time. He was already in the side. Naseem was now your spearhead.
Yeah, Naseem is your default.
Along with Mohammad Wasim Jr.
Yeah, I know. I don't know who it was. We don't need to check. If it was you, then shout out. But someone did say that, you know, Shami should have been considered for India, considering you don't have the experience of a Bumrah, and I wholeheartedly agree. Honestly, if you ask me, if I was taking the first 3 bowlers that I would be starting in Australia, would be Bhuvi, Bumrah and Shami.
Yep.
It has to be that, because then what you can do is, you can really save Bumrah for the death.
Yes.
You can actually keep 2 or 3 even of his overs for the death.
Yeah.
It's really stifled runs in the back end. You can keep 2 overs for Bumrah, and here you have Shami, who's a very good new ball bowler in white ball.
Yes.
Okay? I think they are kind of, moving that way for, I think that's why they're considering Deepak Chahar.
Yes. I think because Deepak Chahar has had a very consistent run, probably that is the reason why Mohammad Shami has not been considered. Why? Deepak Chahar's impact in the power play has been far more beneficial than Mohammad Shami, if you have to look at it. Last couple of years, Shami has kind of struggled, but now Deepak Chahar is in the pecking order. I think now he is one of your front runners. So Bhuvi, Bumrah and Chahar might be your three pacers along with Hardik Pandya in Australia. Arshdeep is your backup. He's in the squad of 15, but he won't play in the 11. Yajuvendra Chahal is your go-to spinner. He will start in the playing 11.
Correct.
Here, you may see two spinners or three spinners. Because in the subcontinent, remember, UAE at this point of time, it is very hot and very humid. So that is why it will be a very different situation altogether. So, Shaheen not playing for Pakistan is beneficial for India. Now, Pak has no left armour. Okay, Mohammad Sarmad, I'll just tell you one thing. The problem of left arm pace, yes, even KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma both have been troubled. But you just have to dig up the stats against KL Rahul. He has not struggled that much against left arm pace. Who has struggled the most against left arm pace? It's actually Rohit Sharma.
Yeah, Rohit, absolutely.
Rohit, because the ball is coming in or going at an angle, Rohit Sharma has really struggled against left arm pace in the last 3-4 years. Now, KL 1-2 innings or 3-4 innings, he struggled, but his average and strike rate against left arm pace is actually not bad.
I don't think his problem is left arm pace as much as just the ball coming in.
Yes. The incoming delivery now, unfortunately, troubles a lot of players. There have not been enough bowlers to exploit that weakness, because Rohit Sharma, I clearly remember from 2011 onwards, when he stepped on, he had a huge technical deficiency, and that was getting that ball in. Angelo Matthews exploited it.
And he was
in Qatar, bowled. In Qatar, LBW. In Qatar, bowled.
Yeah, and Angelo Matthews, even at his fittest, was never exactly express.
Yes.
So, also, TRT is asking why not bring Mohsin Khan. I mean, let's give Mohsin some time, shall we? He had a decent IPL, I agree. But I mean, look at someone like Ashwin, but to have 5 good IPLs and consistent domestic performances to be considered, let's just keep that as the template. Rather than just keeping, I don't know, let's say bringing any and everyone in as a net bowler, reserve bowler, starter. I'm not a fan of that process, honestly.
Anish is saying, bad. You see, if Shaheen would have bowled out our top 3 in Asia Cup, we would have not been nervous while playing him in T20 World Cup. But now still nervousness will be there before T20 World Cup.
But I'm pretty sure even if they got bowled out, they'd still be feeling nervous.
Yeah, but Anish...
you go on first.
My main contention is, if Shaheen comes back for the World T20, you're still going to see a very rusty Shaheen Afridi. Because he would have not had that much of game time.
I still think he will trouble them. I mean, even if he has less game time, maybe. I mean, and the thing is, in cricket, especially this one sport where individual battles, one-on-one battles in between the game are so important, it will play on their minds. However rusty or unfit he may be at that point, it will play on the mind.
Look, we are in the group that has South Africa, Bangladesh, Pakistan. And you'll have one of the teams from the qualifiers coming through in that group. Now, who are the left armers in that group that we've got? When it comes to South Africa, you have Marco Jansen. When it comes to Pakistan, it's Shaheen. When you look at Bangladesh, perhaps to a certain extent, Mustafizur might trouble you. But Mustafizur doesn't have that pace.
Mustafizur is right now a very changed bowler from what he was when he was trouble India.
But he still took a 5-wicket haul in the 2019 World Cup against India. He did. So left arm pace is there, but it's not as much as you see in the other group. Australia, you have Mitchell Starc. You have Bolt in the
New
other
Zealand,
team. Then in
South Africa, Jansen.
No, in that other group, you have England. England, you have Reece Topley probably. Willie. So the amount of left armers that are going to be there in the World T20 is going to be huge. So you have to counter that in whatever way you can.
Exactly. The interesting comment here from Mastermind Tarantula. I'm assuming that's not your real name. Can the duo of Ashwin and Chahal be lethal in Australia considering their recent performances together in IPL? No, not because they can't work as a tandem, but because I don't think in Australia you're playing 2 spinners. And as a 2 spinners, I mean you're not playing 2 like a full-time spinners. You'll be having Chahal and 1 part-timer, most likely Jadeja. Where will you play Ravichandran Ashwin, mastermind? In place of who? Are you going to play him in place of Jadeja? No.
Because
very different players.
Your batting core is in the Asia Cup is what is going to be in the ICC World T20.
Correct.
KL, Rohit, Virat, Surya, Hardik and Pant. I'm going to say Pant because he's going to start. These 6 are your batting core. That will be constant even in the World T20. Number 7 is Ravindra Jadeja. Now, if you include Deepak Chahar in that, You have Deepak Chahar, Bhuvi at number 8 and 9. You have Yajwendra Chahal and Jasprit Bumrah 10 and 11. That's your 11 sorted. If you look at your other 4 players, I'm assuming that they'll take a squad of 15.
Yeah.
Your squad of 15, my 4 will be Shreyas Iyer, Deepak Hooda, Arshdeep Singh, DK.
Yeah.
Those are my 4 backups that I have.
True.
So, in that sense, where are you going to pick Ashwin and where does he come in?
Yeah, for me, I think he. If you're taking Ashwin in the squad, then he replaces what's his name?
Jaddu.
Not Jaddu. Jaddu is not going to be a backup.
He's going to replace.
I think the backup spinner, which would be what's his name? Bishnoi.
But Bishnoi will not make that trip to the World T20.
Actually, technically, if you look at it, if you look at who has been the backup spinner at all times, it's been him. So actually speaking, he should feel very unfortunate. And you know why? Because in the limited chances he's got, he has done really, really well. If you look at his recent international stats, he actually has pretty decent numbers whenever he's gotten a chance. Whatever we may say about him being an off-break googly bowler, he's done pretty well in whatever time whatever time he's gotten out in the middle. Also, just scroll up. I wanted to.
There was one comment about Kuldeep Yadav, right?
Yes. Rishabh, to answer your question, yes, we had answered it yesterday also. Someone will be there from Sports Today, and we will be live from the UAE. Muhammad Sarmad asked, why no Kuldeep Yadav in the Asia Cup squad? He's troubled Babar a lot. Look, I have to say, I'm a big fan. No, what beats me? It's such an obvious reason. He's barely had any game time. That's been the unfortunate thing. I think for Kuldeep, the injury which befell him.
The IPL.
No, not IPL. Just one day before the South Africa remember?
Series,
both KL and him got injured.
Yes.
That came at the worst time because he was coming off a very good IPL season for Delhi Capitals. He got about 21 wickets if I'm not wrong. 21 wickets. He looked very, very good. He was looking close to the lethal best that he had been showing over the past few years. But unfortunately, he's not had any kind of game time. Although, then you could be asking questions as to why Ashwin is back.
KD Rajput, I never spoke about the strike rate bit. I spoke about the average.
Yeah, and it's not even. It's not even.
He says Rohit Sharma is the highest strike rate.
You're cherry picking. I mean, how many times has he been dismissed by left arm seam?
The problem is we conveniently cherry pick, do everything in that sense. Information, Rohit Sharma highest strike rate. I never doubted that.
Yeah, but
again, no Indian player matches him in that aspect. That's subjective yet again because you may have not taken the right.
Just scroll up slightly.
But Rohit Sharma has clearly struggled against left-arm pace.
वो थोड़ा और ऊपर जा. Mo एक review का comment था. I want to take his name. हाँ कोई नहीं जाओ.
Go.
Shobik Banerjee, where is Harshal? Injured.
Yes, Harshal's injured. Saeed Irfan, I will link Arshdeep in place of Bhuvi.
No, I'll take them both. Why would you not take Bhuvi in the kind of form that he's in?
Yeah.
No.
But he's saying in the starting 11.
No. Not
Bhuvi, you want experience.
No, actually, although again in Australia, you'd be playing 3 pacers. Bhuvi and
Bumrah, Chahar.
Not necessary. You might just play Arshdeep because you want a
Chahar/Arshdeep.
Yeah, because you want a left arm option. So I don't think either's wrong, quite frankly. And I'm a big fan of Arshdeep. So anyway, what else? Akash Bharadwaj is asking, what is the change in team from T20 World Cup? Same top 6, and did you see the same top 6? Not really. I mean, they made a lot of chopping and changing last time around. Remember?
Look, you didn't pick the top 6. Who were the top 6?
Rohit.
There was Ishan Kishan, but that's what.
Actually, they panicked after one loss, remember?
Akash Bharadwaj actually has got a good point. What is the change in the T20 World Cup in 2021? Nothing.
There's not really
there was
much change.
Suddenly after one game you chopped and changed everything. You brought in Ishan Kishan.
You had Rohit bat at number 3.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Actually,
really.
Do you see the same top 6 Akash Bharadwaj? Actually, yes.
Yeah, actually I do because KL, Rohit,
Virat, Surya,
then you would have Hardik and Pant, correct.
That's your top 6.
And in fact, I would say top 7 also because I'm starting with
Jaddu, yes. The only major change you didn't have was Yajwendra Chahal was not there.
Yeah, that was a big mistake. Very big
mistake. Blunder of the 21st century, I would say.
That shouldn't have happened.
Blunder of the 21st century.
Let's scroll down. Okay. Let's take a few more comments.
Yeah, a few more comments. Who is giving you 90% confidence Indian top 5?
I think based on what we've been seeing over these many series,
Surya.
Oh, is he asking who or which player?
Who?
Ah, Surya, yes, of course.
Surya.
Also, just scroll slightly down, slightly. No. Scroll.
Mohammad Sarma.
Scroll.
Down.
Down. अच्छा वही हो गया कोई नहीं
Bishnoi will be good backup option for Chahal in Australia because Australia leg spin is good of actual trouble.
I agree and honestly you know what I think if you're going by meritocracy in the sense that you are blooding players and you're keeping them around, then Ravi Bishnoi will feel very hard done by that he just gets replaced by Ravi Ashwin for no reason.
Yes.
I mean because every series since then, South Africa, Ireland, England, he's been the backup in, I think, even West Indies.
Yes.
He's been the backup to Chahal pretty much all of those series, and whenever they wanted to rest Ashwin, Chahal, they were giving Bishnoi a go, and he had decent numbers. One match, 2 wickets, one match, 3 wickets. So it's not like he was doing badly. I mean, so I would feel very hard done by if I were Ravi Bishnoi.
Yes. CM Mrityunjay, thank you. This time not creating unnecessary hype for India, but showing maturity, all needed sports. After all, it is game, anything can happen.
I agree, absolutely.
See, it is India versus Pakistan. Okay, it is a game. Let us not get totally blown away by the jingoism, by the entire this thing. Look, if Pakistan wins, they win on their own merit. If India wins, they win on their own merit.
Yeah, let's treat it as a sporting competition.
Yeah.
And of course, see, it's impossible to ignore the socio-political implications of the match. But, I mean, let's not get into let's say the overdoing.
Let's not go into
That's not what we do here at Sports Today. Just so
Rishabh Chaturvedi saying, who can be dangerous team in Asia? Sri Lanka, Afghanistan or Bangladesh? Apart from India, Pakistan, my dark horse would actually be Sri Lanka.
Yeah, because they actually don't have too bad a team right
They actually played very well in that series against Australia, the limited overs if you had to look at it. Ran them close. Actually, they won an ODI series against Australia.
Correct. So they did pretty well. And again, conditions will be pretty similar. And they do have some decent, spinners.
Yes.
When you have someone like Wanindu, Hasaranga, Mahesh Tikshana, both very, very dangerous customers in white ball cricket.
So yes, my 11 on, let's end with Akash M, who's saying my 11 versus Pakistan October 23. Rohit, Rahul, Virat, Sky, Pant, Hardik, Chahar, Ashwin, Chahal, Bhuvi. But Bumrah is not there, Akash M.
Bumrah is not there, Akash. And also you're picking 5 full bowlers, really?
The...
And also, unless you're counting Chahar and Ashwin as all-rounders, which I would not do.
I know. Can Deepak Chahar come back? Yes, I think with his performance in Zimbabwe in the first match, hopefully he does well in the third
Also,
ODI.
you have to remember that, there's a very good chance that neither Bumrah nor Harshal.
Yeah. See, Harshal is in serious doubt for the World T20. We do not know about the status of Bumrah's injury because look, a back injury takes time.
Very, very.
And Shaheen's knee injury, remember it's a knee ligament injury, will not heal that quickly.
Absolutely.
If Shaheen misses the World T20, it is a massive blow for Pakistan. Because remember, Shaheen is your gun bowler who can get those wickets. But apart from that, who builds up pressure in the middle overs? Shadab Khan. Shadab Khan is your leg spinner, but he's also had a slight dip, unfortunately. But he's a superb fielder though. Shadab is one of the best fielders in Pakistan I've seen after a very long time. So, Pakistan's bowling has been blunted big time with Shaheen's absence.
Shaheen not being there, absolutely.
Bumrah's absence is big, but it has not blunted India because of the depth of bowling that they have. Imagine how the tables have turned. I mean, in the 80s and the 90s, it was the case of India versus Pakistan, India's batting versus Pakistan's bowling.
Now it's in many ways, India's bowling
versus Pakistan bowling. Who would have thought that in 20 years, India's bowling would be on par with the best in the business? And we have to thank a lot of players, a lot of people have to be thanked for that, especially Bharat Arun, Ravi Shastri, the BCCI for honing.
For actually ensuring that, you do have a pace battery. In fact, now you don't just have a pace battery, you have the backup to the pace battery as well.
Yeah. Shavik Banerjee, Asif Ali, very dangerous batsman, power hitter like Andre Russell. Yes, Asif Ali did do well in the PSL. He was in superb form. So yes, point taken. Sanjay Manjre of the Pants was said like Gavaskar in 70s, Sachin 90s and Kohli in 2010. Pant will be biggest match winner. Pant will be biggest match winner. Isn't he your biggest match winner?
For 10 test matches at least. He's quite frankly your
one ODI, he's already done it.
Exactly. So I think, the thing with Pant is that is his thing. He is very much a match winner in his at his best. He is a match winner. So I do agree. I think it's a very good call from that was Austin Kuna, wasn't it?
Yes, Austin Kuna. Yes.
Anyway, I think we can.
We can wrap up this.
Because we do have a match to attend today as well, but not attend as much as we have.
So the broad consensus from all our family members and from us is that Shaheen's absence is a massive blow for Pakistan.
But if you have different opinions, do let us know in the comments.
Below. Bumrah, on the other hand, is an absence, but not that big.
So
thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this dugout. We'll be back tomorrow. Third ODI, India versus Zimbabwe.
Hopefully they bat first.
India bat first, yes. And KL Rahul scores a century, hopefully. Then we'll have plenty to talk about.
50-60 balls there. Can give some time.
We have a lot more to talk about. So, thank you so much, folks. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis. Don't forget to press the bell icon when we go live. And we are also there on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Do follow us there. Thank you. Bye-bye. See you. Vanakkam. And do watch Sports Today's cricket match that's going to take place shortly.
The veterans versus the young guns.
Young guns.
May the best young guns win.
Yes.
Veterans team.
Yep.